Hey there, Central Ohio. Thanks for watching us here on 10 TV Plus. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens.
And I'm meteorologist Meredith Garofalo. We are so glad you could join us. Happy Hump Day Wednesday.
Indeed. Happy middle of the week.
We made it.
Little gloomy out there today. A little cool still. The morning was, at least, but
yes, and for people that went out for the Pro-Am, you could see some umbrellas were coming out. People had some jackets on, but thankfully that won't last all day.
I was going to say the moisture around this week, when you get to this weekend, I mean, that rough's got to be kind of thick out there.
I know, but everyone's excited. We have so many people here in Central Ohio. And if you are watching from Central Ohio for the first time, by the way, thank you for coming out, and we're glad you're here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Meredith, you got the forecast for us. Hopefully we can get this rain out of here for the weekend.
There's one day we're concerned about, and I do want to show you the latest model runs that came in about that. But let's start off with our headlines as we are tracking some midweek showers. Now, temperatures, that's going to be a story for us as well. Drying out this weekend, but it's the in-between that we do have those chances of rain, and I want to make sure to go over all that with you. So what is the weather impact for us? That's going to be that chance for showers and a few storms. I say a few. It's not looking like it'll be a big line of thunderstorms, a severe weather event by any means, but certainly something we're keeping our eyes on, and you need to be prepared, especially if you are going to be outside for the next 4 days at the Memorial Tournament. Next week, though, we're heating up. I saw temperatures in the upper 80s, approaching 90s, and of course we have to wait till we get there. But if we keep trending upwards, I mean, it could be feeling like summer as we finally get into the month of June. But you can see it really was a struggle to get out of the 50s in the morning. We had fog, we had clouds, but this afternoon temperatures topping out in the upper 60s with even some peaks of sun looking like they'll arrive just before the sun sets. And I'll show you all of that right now as we track this hour by hour. Again, you can see here 4 o'clock, we do have some breaks in the clouds. Mainly clouds out there, so I would say overall a cloudy to mostly cloudy day. Further south, though, could become partly sunny as we go into the evening. But you notice these little spots here of green. That would indicate possibly a pop-up passing shower moving through. They're going to be more few or far between, so most of the rain was yesterday and overnight. And then as we go into Thursday, I'll stop the clock here as we officially kick off the Memorial Tournament. Not a bad way to start. Some spots, the fog you can see for the Columbus area, and the clouds, not a case there. That's good news for us. And then as we go into the day, actually looking like we'll get some great clearing in Dublin and some of our surrounding towns. Moving forward into the afternoon, a few more clouds come in, but overall it is looking dry. Maybe a passing pop-up shower, but the concern will be as we go into Friday morning. So I'm going to start the clock here at 5 a.m. We're still a couple of days out. Things can change. We saw that earlier this week, but this would be the worst case scenario if the models are correct and we do continue to see the system move into Central Ohio. Here's 5 a.m. As we go into 6, you can see some very intense bands of rain coming through, maybe even some isolated thunderstorms here. This would move through, unfortunately, right when things are supposed to get going for day 2 of the Memorial Tournament, continuing to move from west to east. Again, when we get these yellows and reds, those are the heavier downpours. So that would be several hours of some good rain if this pans out, continuing to move across. Now, some models say this could wrap up earlier. Others, like our in-house model here, would continue this through the noon hour and even into the early afternoon. So not looking good for tournaments. We're definitely going to keep checking back with you as we have the new information, and Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz will be in tonight with the latest information. We want to make sure you know if you're going to have to deal with this, to stay safe and also to stay prepared. Now, as we look at expecting rain, if this does stay on track like that, you can see going into Friday, we could get some pretty intense amounts in some spots, especially our southern zones, anywhere between 1 to 2 inches. And so if that is the case, we could have some issues with localized flooding. This is definitely something to watch, and the 10 Weather Impact team is on it, and we will bring you those updates as we move forward with all of the shifts over the next 24 to 48 hours to make sure you have the latest information. Looking ahead, though, as I was talking about, as we go from June 2nd to the 5th, we have well above normal temperatures moving in. That's when I was talking about the 80s and maybe even the 90s. Our average high this time of year is in the mid to upper 70s. And so you can see as far as precip goes, now we drop below average. So that kind of coincides. We have high pressure move in, a lot less chances for the rain, the storms, but it really allows that heat to build up. But you can see what's coming off to the west. So that's something we'll have to watch eventually by the 2nd and 3rd week of June, making its way into our neighborhood. But I do want to give you the official Memorial Tournament forecast. Again, you can see the one day we have concern is Friday. Saturday, Maybe some afternoon pop-up showers or storms. Same thing for Thursday. We're going to have to watch that, but most of the day should be dry and mild. Sunday's actually looking a lot nicer for us. And then as we go into the extended period, you can see after the weekend, there's that 80 I was talking about. And then as we go into Tuesday, temperatures really start to go back up. Mid to upper 80s. I know they were waiting to open the pools, Michael, so maybe finally those pools can get going. June is meteorological summer.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking last week that pools are supposed to open Memorial Day weekend.
Right.
A lot of those got pushed back because, I mean, it was just too cold to be in the water.
Yeah, no bueno. Even a hot tub is like your only option, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't beat a hot tub any time of the year. Winter outside, you can still get in the hot tub.
I was in Denver, and that was a fun thing to do. And speaking of talking about other places, as you think about your next vacation, you may want to consider a cooler destination rather than a tropical paradise.
Yeah, that's because a new report from the World Meteorological Organization says the planet is going to set some records in the next couple of years, and it may actually change how enjoyable sitting on the beach sounds. The new report says that global temperatures will reach a record or near record levels between now and 2029. According to the report, there's also an 80% chance that at least 1 year between 2025 and 2029 be the warmest year on record.
That's crazy. And also climate change could be causing more cases of cancer among women. A study in Frontiers found a small increase in breast, ovarian, and uterine and cervical cancer. It actually might be linked to the effects of climate change. Those effects include rising temperatures, food and water security, and poor air quality. The study's authors say more access to cancer screenings could be a key factor in saving lives.
It just seems every year we find more and more things
connected
it's so sad. To our environment. And, you know, one of those is allergy seasons out there. Those are also getting worse because of climate changes. Allergy season actually getting longer and more severe. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation says the worst cities to live in for people with allergies are Wichita, New Orleans, and Oklahoma City, as well as Tulsa and Memphis. The good news, treatments for seasonal allergies have gotten more effective recently.
Goodness, I don't know about you. I don't have a lot of allergies, but some of my friends have the absolute worst. My mom especially.
I've been suffering all season long, and I am taking the twice daily pill now.
Well, thankfully, we haven't seen severe weather in the past week here in central Ohio.
Yeah, but in other parts of the country, they really haven't been so lucky, and storm damage has continued. Spencer Tracy reports from Orange County, Florida.
You don't see it very often.
Oh my God. Thunderstorms came in Monday night. Mother Nature left her mark in the Waterford Lakes area, with a roof caving in and partially destroying a home's attic. Orange County Fire Rescue says that home on Blue Water Circle got struck by lightning and started a fire. One person was inside at the time, but fire crews say he made it out safely.
I heard the lightning a couple times and it was extremely loud.
And just a mile away on Canary Island Court, Desiree Shear recorded this video of a water spout in the retention pond behind her home.
It was loud, so I look over there and it's starting to suck shingles off of the neighbor's roof. And I was like, oh, so I started filming it, and then it started to form really well over the water.
And Shear says weather like this just comes with the territory.
It comes out of nowhere, like it's invisible. It's not like a tornado, you know, it's just starts out of nowhere and is there.
Wow. Crazy video there. And speaking of video, let's check out some more. SpaceX is searching for a rocket this morning after the uncrewed test flight didn't quite go as planned.
But despite the successful launch, SpaceX lost control of the most powerful rocket system ever constructed before it even re-entered Earth's atmosphere. Now, it's not clear where Starship landed or how much of it actually survived. No bueno.
It always looks so cool launching.
I know.
And you want this to make it into space, because I mean, you know the work they're doing to sort of further space travel. But you know, this is why you do those sort of uncrewed flights beforehand.
As they say, you have to fail to succeed, and so you know they're not going to give up on anything, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, also the old adage says birds of a feather fly together, but they probably didn't mean fly commercial airlines like on Delta, leaving Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport on Saturday night, briefly waylaid. Two pigeons were hanging out on the flight, trying to get some, maybe some of those pretzels that they like to give out.
Yeah, I don't know if pigeons rack up frequent flyer miles on their own, but maybe they got to hit the plane to get them.
Scary.
According to one of the, they're easy and getting caught. According to one of the plane's passengers, baggage handlers boarded the plane, caught the first pigeon, and removed it. As the plane began taxiing, though, a second pigeon appeared, forcing the plane to return to the gate. At least they were still on the ground. Handlers once again captured the bird. They seem to be pros at that. Took the bird away.
That reminds me of an Office episode when Dwight catches the bat.
Oh, yes.
Instead, there's a pigeon. Much safer here, but oh my gosh.
I don't even know. Like, one, it's got to get into the plane somehow. And then two, it's got to get into the cabin of the plane somehow. Like, I mean, the baggage area and the crew deck, they're not typically open to one another, so.
And the video, if you listen to the gnat sounds, people were screaming. Can you imagine, like, taking a nap, all of a sudden someone screaming like crazy? Like,
you don't want to hear people screaming on a plane, ever.
No. Well, hopefully the pigeon behaved itself.
Yeah, hopefully
you know what I mean?
so. I mean, they got it off, so don't get back on.
Wow. Well, we have to end with something positive,
Absolutely.
right? Well, that's your weather update here on 10 TV Plus. Coming up later tonight at 6, Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz will be in. We'll have more on tracking the potential for rain on Friday. But until then, you can catch more news and weather online at 10tv.com. Have a good afternoon.